G'day and welcome to another one of my reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Cowboy Bebop, the movie, there we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about it, so if you haven't seen it, okay, to put it basically, go watch it. I liked it, I enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for more in-depth analysis, then stay right ahead because I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so the Cowboy Bebop movie, I feel, is genre-defining in the fact that I have seen a lot of anime, and I've seen this movie both, in English and in Japanese, and I honestly feel that, it doesn't matter. It's one of those few animes that both voice actors for both types of cast are done completely well. So if you choose to watch it in, subs or with, the dubbed version, it doesn't matter. You're going to be enjoying the same authentic experience each time. The movie's plot is pretty much just like an extended version of the regular Cowboy Bebop format, which is just like, we're bounty hunters, we have a bounty to go do, and it's just like if you were watching the series, it's a longer episode, and so I really like that. Stayed once again sort of true to the Cowboy Bebop formula that everybody likes. But this isn't going to be me talking about the Cowboy Bebop anime. I'm going to be just, I'll do that at a later point, but I'm going to stick mainly with the movie for the moment. Okay, so with the movie, there are certain storytelling elements that I really enjoy. Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, please go out and watch it. It is very good. I would put it in the same breath as Akira, which is my favourite anime movie. And the best thing about this is because you've had all the story development through the anime series and the manga, you already know all these characters, so they can just, hit the ground running with this amazing movie. But if you haven't seen the anime, or you haven't read the manga, and this is your first foray into, Cowboy Bebop, you will enjoy it just as much, because you'll get to know all the characters, and you'll know the movie characters, and you'll hopefully like each of them for what they are, and their archetypes and personalities. And the story doesn't, well, as with most Cowboy Bebop stories, doesn't really tie. It's a one-shot, so you don't need to be familiar with any of the other sources. So if you're being hesitant to jump in because of that reason, then don't worry about it. The story of the film is as such. There is a terrorist who is releasing a virus into the city and has promised to do it once again on Halloween, and he promises it on a much larger scale. The film will all about how the Bebop crew and the bounty hunters, they go after this guy who becomes known as Vincent, and their dealings with him. So the main thing that I really liked about this film is the animation quality, especially all the little fight scenes that you'll see. Everything looks beautiful and the movements look fluid, and just watching Spike do anything, any of his kicks whatsoever, is just a real treat to watch. You see this dystopian future, which I have commented about to my friends before, that the Bebop future is not one that is likable, you wouldn't want to live there, but it's very interesting. I felt that the film does a really good job of retaining all the characters' true identities, so they didn't suddenly mess it up or change anything for just this movie. They still very true. From what I can feel in terms of canon, it takes place either, after episode 22 airs. That's where I found most of the suggestions pointing, and I think that feels, relatively right. However, here's something that I want to discuss. The recurring theme of the movie is that Vincent, the main terrorist guy, he constantly seeks a door, as he calls it. And this door is just leading out of life, or this boring life that he has, this life that he has no control over and that he doesn't really enjoy, to be honest. Now, this is where I started watching this with a little more, I don't know what you would call it, I started viewing it more with an artistic point of view and okay, a message trying to come across. So what is this message that's coming across this guy? What is this terrorist's goal? And he keeps saying that he's looking for the door, and then finally, at the end, he's just I realized there was no door. And the message is just at the end of the credits, it's I think it was are you really living in the real world? And once you go through the entire credits, it ends the same way that the movie begins, with Spike asleep on the couch. So I think that this entire movie was perhaps just a dream that Spike had after one of his many missions, and the fact that he tries to reach out to grab the little light butterfly at the end, and he grabs it and then there's nothing there. I don't know. I just feel that the way he wakes up, and the door that, Vincent could have been looking for, was the fact that Spike and all that were just literally, he was dreaming, and he knew that this wasn't the real world. He knew this was just a dream that Spike was having, and so he realized at the end that, it's Spike's dream, not mine. I am merely just his concept of me. I am just a villain that would suit Spike. And when you come down to it, it really is that. Like, Vincent, he's just a bad Spike, and that's why they get along so well. And, well, get along. They play off each other. Like, they each know very similar forms of martial arts. They always go toe-to-toe with each other. He doesn't kill Spike, and he almost has, and Spike has this likability about Vincent. Like, he wants to go back to fight. It's not for the money, which is very strange, but he actually goes back to fighting for revenge because of what happens to him, how he gets beaten in the film. And it's just this intrigue that keeps leading Spike on and on in the case. And when you see that literally there is all these characters, like the old men that are usually show up all the time, and there's just this bunch of events that are very sort of fantastical. Like, Spike actually has a lover in this film. Like, well, he wishes she was, and he actually once again looks for somebody that isn't Julia, and he has like this appreciation for this woman, and he thinks about getting romantically involved with her. And you think, well, where else would he be if not, dreaming? Like, he literally made a dream girl for himself, and that's why she's strong, she's powerful. He even comments that her name was very powerful, like he'd hoped. And so, I am strongly suggesting the possibility of this being a dream. And I know this might not be a revelation to, like, a whole bunch of you. Like, you might know this source material better than I do. But definitely on the second viewing, I thought that this was a rather concrete idea. And I'll stick to it. So, canon or not canon, I don't know. But either way, it is very, very, very enjoyable. Like, even something as simple as just the music and the way that it will be used and seen so effectively, and it just seems to be like you're watching this old sort of 80s action flick, like detective sort of thing. I don't know, it's really hard to define what Cowboy Bebop is, but, if I was to be a cop-out, I'd say the genre that would come to be known as... Okay, sorry, that's really dumb, I won't do that. But either way, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Holy crap, I really enjoyed it. I will definitely watch it again. And I don't know, I think that it is a shining example of what an anime film should be. So, anyway, this is my review and discussion of Cowboy Bebop, the movie. Go watch it. I found it really enjoyable. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope that, you understand my thought a little bit better about the film, and I hope that maybe you guys will go and watch it. So, yeah. Until next time, see ya, Space Cowboy.